So selling your insight has a lot to do with playing with, I would say, relatable things, emotional things, and also perspective. Okay, so when you do that, that's how you sell your insight, because you combine all those elements together. So I'm gonna walk you through the process and give you just one example, so I don't bore you too much with the topic, but I do want you to take into account the different examples I will share with you within a bit that walks you through the entire process. So first of all, we want to think on helping people gain a deeper insight into the fundamentals. The way we want to do it is by, first of all, dissecting the information. So what it is that you're looking at or watching or reading, why is it the way that they present it? How is it being presented? And when is it possible that people reading it or yourself need to apply it? Okay? These are things you want to consider. The reason I say this is because the information that you provide probably can be applicable or not to the person. Okay, it can be an eye-opener to the person. The reason I say eye-opener is because the person will self-evaluate. When you say something very sharp, very pointy, very straightforward, very direct, people tend to pay attention. And because of that, they gain either an idea, an application, or a new discovery. They learn something new. Okay, so with that in mind, you are sharing your perspective. Why? Because you're sharing your angle, your concept, or your framework. Okay, so this is the idea for you to be able to take information from other people, from books or from videos, etc. Talk to your audience a certain way with ideas, how you apply, what's new about it, etc. And in that return, build your own perspective on how you see things, why you see things like that, and how you can implement these things. Okay? Now, the way you dissect this, the way you kind of come up with that specific breakdown is that you have to curate. Okay? Create what's working, what's not, why is it working, why is it not working, how does it work, and when does it work? Okay? Does it work during the day, during the night? Does it work when you put it here, when you put it there? Does it work because someone, applied it and that person already has a background in that? Or does it work for someone that's totally brand new, has no idea what they're doing? Okay, so you kind of have to break that down. And with the objective, they gain, because of that, a deeper understanding on the subject, or at a sub-micro level, they will get also a deep understanding on the subject. Okay, it will give them more in-depth comprehension, and it will help you master your learning capability. Why do I say you master your learning? Because you're looking at something with a critical eye. You're looking from all the angles. How does this work? How is it structured? How is it connected to each other and the life that we live in, or the world that we live in? And because of that, people will gravitate to you because they can kind of see that you have an Einstein-like personality, that you study things, you come up with new versions or theory or formula or thesis, whatever, and from there you go and build and try stuff. Okay, that's what people like. Elon Musk style, you could say. Okay, then because of that, people will go and self-audit. How do they do this? Well, you want to question what they believe in. You want to help them think about it. You want to help them feel something about it. Okay, feel good, feel bad, feel confused, feel like, nostalgic or something. Okay, you also want to help them think a certain way, or believe in certain things, or think if that is really, the way it should be. Why is it like that, etc. And you want to help them understand where does those belief and feelings and emotion come from. Okay, that's the main goal. Now, this is something you gain with practice and you gain with study. Therefore, I cannot show you a bunch of examples, but I can certainly share some posts with you that can kind of clarify a bit more on these specific topics. Okay, so the objective here is to simply have a core goal here to understand yourself and the fundamental level, how you study others, and influence others in the same way to overcome their objection or fear that they have, okay? That's the main goal behind this. Now, it sounds super simple, just reading it and just explaining it or sharing this information with you. But again, it's only something that you will discover once you implement it, okay? Simply saying this to you is not gonna really make a difference if you don't study the example I'm gonna share with you in a bit, or you don't understand the fundamental of this. And explain a bit on the perspective, we want to look at core values. Okay, so why or what does people stand for? What does people strive for? What are the principles people follow? What are the laws? What you consider interesting or what you detest or avoid, or what are your life's norms? Okay, again, the objective is, the core goal is to create your own set of belief system where everyone that is similar to you will likely gravitate to you or find more deep level appreciation for you. Okay, so that's the main goal. Now, an example I can show you from other people out there. If you look at, for example, David, if here in this example, you can see that he kind of highlighted 3 simple things that he implemented, and he can show you throughout the engagement. It says here, I don't know who needs to hear this, but doing the work takes much less energy than avoiding the work. Okay, he kind of breaks down why this have a less engaging than the other, but then he wanted to split test the fundamentals to understand indeed what does writing a certain framework help people with. Okay, so he came up with the other version, which is this: the harsh truth, avoiding the work is more exhausting than doing the work. And you see the amount of engagement. Okay, so you can see literally the amount of impression, it's like way more above. The amount of engagement is way more above. The amount of clicks, 114 clicks, profile clicks, replies as well, etc., etc. Do you see the difference now? Okay, what writing can do for you? Because the other one is not really relatable or emotional. What you see, the second one, the harsh truth, that is a term that catches people's attention. When you see it says like doing the work, here it says avoiding. Avoiding has something to do with pain, something people struggle with, something people detest. And then it says, instead of take much less energy, it says is more exhausting. Okay? So as you can see here, he's playing around with terms that causes a certain emotional or mental trigger of which people feel like they need to reply to this or they need to engage with this. Why? Because they either pro for it or they're against it or they don't agree with it. Okay, so this is the way you want to study these things. Now I want to show you, for example, a couple of examples that I personally created and posted on, for example, Twitter or LinkedIn, that you can probably also learn from. Okay, so I'm going to show you and walk through the process. I don't have them highlighted like this because I don't have a before and after, but I do have a framework of how the repurposed versions, these ones, have been done and how you can model after them as well in order for you to create your first, I would say, like, I don't know, 20 to 30 posts out there to start building some engagement. All right, so let's go into that.